Hey guys, in today's episode of the Trading Coach Podcast, I'm going to answer a question from a trader who is a little bit lost, a little bit confused, and is looking for direction in his trading journey. Also guys, I'm now heavy on TikTok, so go over there and give me a follow. I'm sharing a lot of information that is trading related, business related, a lot of stuff about entrepreneurship, success, mindset, productivity, short, quick clips that will be helpful for your everyday life and of course your trading life as well. So head over to TikTok, follow me, Akil Stokes, RTM, and I hope you guys enjoy today's episode. So I just got a really cool question from a client and I want to share it with you guys as well because I know that this trader isn't the only one thinking this way. And obviously this is someone that is involved with the program, but many of you guys aren't involved with our program and you're looking for a way to become better at trading, but you're looking for the wrong thing. You're looking in the wrong places. So here we go. He says, hey, Akil, been over a month now that I have a lifetime membership with you guys. I've been a member for over 3 months and things have been going well until now. I've been following the steps and taking my time through the content. I've arrived at the mastery course, Strategies to Give You an Edge section, which just gives us a number of strategies to choose from. And to give you guys some kind of perspective, right? Our first course is called, the Cornerstone, which is like a basics course. What is the market? What is a pip? Like basic stuff like that. We then go on to Foundation 1 and Foundation 2, which is general principles of technical analysis, how to read a trend, define a trend, support and resistance, all that stuff. And after we get all that out of the way, after you learn how to read a price chart, then the next course after that ends up talking about strategies, or the next section teaches specific strategies. And he says, this part has me confused because throughout the first 4 sections, I've learned to build my foundations and now I just have to choose a strategy and build it on my own, ? Throughout the multiple hours of going through the videos, it talks about not taking any strategy off the shelf, thinking it would work right away. But isn't this essentially what is being offered in this case? I might be wrong, but I'm quite concerned exactly how am I supposed to choose a strategy that, quote unquote, fits my personality. Do I learn it by heart and go into charts without learning how to do top-down analysis? And it goes on to some other stuff like that. And I wanted to really touch on that point because, yes, if you followed us for any number of years or really any few months or whatever, you've probably heard us talk about there's no value in taking a strategy off the shelf and using it. There is no type of plug and play in trading. And I know you see all types of ads for magic systems and whatnot, but you even take people like Richard Dennis and the Turtle Traders where they did that experiment. Can a trader just be given a system and be expected to trade it with the same profit factor? And the answer is no, right? Some people can, yes, some people can't, but a general principle is that you can't expect to be profitable just taking something off the shelf and using it. Now, most of that is due to trading psychology, right? We all have different kind of levels of trading psychology, mental toughness, the ability to follow direction, stuff like that, discipline. But when we talk about finding something that fits your personality, it's understanding that everyone is different. And the understanding of wanting to get something that fits your personality is what's going to limit those psychological mistakes, right? There are really 2 types of people out there, right? There are people that are built like robots, right? You see a lot of professional athletes, you see a lot of military people who are built strictly like robots, a lot of high IQ people as well, where it's like, hey, this makes money. I follow the rules directly. I have no emotional attachment to anything. I'm just robotic, 1, 2, 3, 4, step by step by step by step. Those people have the ability to take something and follow it without worrying about any type of emotional feelings kind of spiking in the background. The other type of person doesn't. The other type of person is highly emotional, right? Normal human emotions. And I don't say highly emotional like you're super emotional, like crying at the end of every movie every time, something bad happens. But I'm talking about you have those feelings inside of you, and eventually over time those feelings build up enough for you to act on it. And I remember when I started my trading career, finding a strategy that fit my personality was something that I learned by really trial and error. It took me losing, doing a lot of other things to learn this lesson, because at first I was looking for the plug and play. I literally paid thousands of dollars for a training course, and although I told myself I had intentions on learning, I really had intentions on learning a strategy that would make me money. So when the course provided me with different strategies, right? That was my holy grail. And I thought I would just plug them in and play them, download the software, and boom, I'd be good to go. Millionaire status in no time. And the truth was, what happened over and over again, and I probably did this with about 3 or 4 different strategies, is that I would trade them. I would be fine when things are going good. And then when things started going bad, I would start doubting my system, doubting the strategy. I started having differences of opinions. And every single time, like clockwork, it would end up with me making mistakes. I would pass on trades I was supposed to take because I thought they were going to lose, or the last couple were losers and I just couldn't deal with that pain because the last 3 were losers. This one had to be a loser. Or I would start having a different opinion of the market where it's like, man, I really think we should be going long, although the system says go short. And I would do the opposite. I would take profits early. I would move stops back, right? All the normal stuff that you think about, all because eventually those emotional pulls that I was feeling in the background, right? Maybe they weren't strong in one particular moment, but over time, right? Like, was it death by 1,000 cuts, right? Over time, they build up and eventually you cave into the torture. So finding something that fits your personality, what we mean by that is finding something that you truly believe in. Because when you truly believe in something and you trust something 100%, you are less likely to make those emotional mistakes because you truly believe in it and you understand your edge. And everyone's personality is different. For example, we go back to the turtle trader example that I told you earlier, right? I couldn't trade that in a million years. Right? Now you can say, Akil, how can you not trade that? It's proven to be a successful strategy. There were so many traders that were successful doing it. There were some that weren't successful as well. You don't hear that part of the story a lot, but so many traders that were successful doing it. And the thing is this, one of the most successful turtle traders out there had a win percentage of 20, 30 something percent, if that high. I don't even think it was 30 something, but somewhere in that range. That means 8 out of every 10 trades were losers. I remember reading about him, and he said at some points he'd have to stomach 17 losses at a time. And one of the reasons that he succeeded over some of his other teammates or people trading in the same experiment is that on that 18th trade, he still had the guts to do what he needed to do, while the rest of his buddies were like, 17 in a row, I should pass on this one. And that's just knowing myself. That is just knowing my limits, right? I can't lose that much, right? There is a point. Now, I don't know what that point is. It's shifted over the years, so I'm probably a little bit better at it now. But there is a point where those losses are going to pile up. I'm going to become so defeated. I'm going to become so emotionally unstable that I won't be able to operate on a consistent basis, right? It's like anything else in life, right? Kids, for example, right? If you keep putting down a kid every day of their life, oh, you're so dumb, you can't do this, oh, you'll never do that, oh, why do you keep trying, right? What is that? The kid's just it's gonna crack. He's gonna crack, or she's gonna crack. She's gonna give up. The same thing as us as traders. So that's part of knowing your personality. I know that I can't trade a system, no matter how big the risk reward is. I can't trade a system that has only a 20% win percentage because I know in reality, I won't be able to execute it. My good friend and my business partner, Jason Greystone, is even higher than me. He says, hey, I need to win more than I lose, right? So whenever Jason looks at a strategy and backtests that strategy and does the work needed in that strategy, he knows that, hey, if that win percentage doesn't come out over 50%, he's not even wasting his time trading it. Why? Because he knows himself. He has to win more than he loses. So that's part of knowing yourself as a trader, right? Another thing is kind of more literal. Like, what time do you actually have to trade? We all have different times that we can trade. Do you want to be a day trader, right? Do you want kind of lower time frame, fast action, in and out, right? No overnight stuff and everything closed by the close of the market, right? Can you actually be a day trader, right? Do you have time in a day? If you're working at an office and your hands on deck all day, How are you going to have time to actually look at the charts, right? Do you want to be a swing trader? Would you rather hold longer term positions overnight, stuff like that? Is swing trading something that meets your life schedule a little bit more, right? Maybe you have to work for this hour and this hour and this hour, but you have off during this time, right? So with me, for example, I'm a swing trader. Most of my trades end up on the 4 hours. It works well around my lifestyle and what I want to do because I know that I only have to check the charts every hour at max if something's heavy on the radar, but typically every 4 hours, right? So again, trend continuation versus counter trend, longer targets versus shorter targets. We can go on and on and on and on about that. But this is the part of figuring out your personality. And hopefully what I tell traders to do is I tell them to do this. I tell them to go through the course material twice, right? Once as a general overview, right? You're going through it. You're learning stuff. You're familiarizing yourself with the concepts. The second time you go through is when you want to dial in on it. And hopefully through that first time, as you're getting different experiences, it's like imagine a buffet of different stuff where you're before you get your main course, you're tasting this, you're like, that tastes all right, tasting that, ooh, nasty, right? You're kind of discovering, hey, I think, this kind of meshed well, this kind of made sense, or this, I don't get anything about that, Akil. What is that? I couldn't understand any of it. And you start to kind of familiarize yourself with one, what is easy for you, what is not easy for you, what you like, what you don't like, what you believe in, what you don't believe in. And that's how you dial in on the strategy or strategies that best fit your personality. You blend that with what also best fits your lifestyle, right? Because, most of us aren't just, unless you're stupid Akil who quit 3 jobs to go full-time trading, most of you are still working your regular job. So, trading is something that is secondary, right? Because you need that main income. So you're working trading around your main job until you get to the point where now you can limit hours at your main job and then kind of work around your trading if you want some supplemental income. But I hope this makes sense. I'm gonna email the trader as soon as I'm done this and say, hey, check out this podcast as well, because it should be coming out shortly after I record this. But that's what we're talking about when we mean fit your personality. And I hope it makes sense why you can't just plug and play. You just can't take something and not test it and not, practice it and just expect it to have the results that you want, because the honest truth of it's not. And you can ask any professional trader, you can ask any experienced trader out there, that's not like just trying to sell you a $20, system or whatever like that. And they'll tell you the same exact thing. It's all about finding the right fit, and the right fit comes in many levels. If you haven't been there yet, check out the site. www.tier1trading.com is the address. I recommend doing a few things. 1, checking out the free workshops, and 2, signing up for the trial membership. I didn't include this in the podcast, but something I told the trader in my response email was that, hey, you need to make sure you're taking advantage of everything that we have to offer, right? The training courses is just one part of it. You need to make sure you're taking advantage of the supportive resources as well. So I recommend the same thing for you guys, especially when you take the trial membership. You got 14 days on the site. Take advantage of everything. Make it worth your while.